The PRO Act passed yesterday in the House, and Joe Biden gave it a full-throated support, and hopefully, maybe it passes in the Senate. I don't see Joe Manchin as a problem with this. Maybe Kristen Sinema, maybe, I don't know. But I don't see Joe Manchin as would have a problem with this. It would be interesting to see what happens and if Joe Biden leans on this. This, we've mentioned this, PRO Act. Well, let's hear Ilhan Omar talk about the PRO Act, because she will explain why the PRO Act is important to American workers.
The gentlelady from Minnesota, Ms. Omar.
The gentlewoman from Minnesota is recognized for 1.5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Speaker, I rise in solidarity with labor unions who, throughout history, have fought the greed of their bosses and corporations in order to have a better life. I rise in solidarity with workers in Marathon Petroleum Plant in Minnesota who are striking for safer working conditions, and with the workers at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, Walker Art Center, and many more workplaces who have recently unionized in my district. I rise in solidarity with the 5,800 mostly Black workers in Alabama who are currently fighting one of the most predatory corporations in the world, Amazon, to form a union. Labor unions have been the driving force for all positive change for workers in modern history. As a former union member myself, I can attest to the power that workers wield when they exercise their right to organize. That's why we need the PRO Act and why we must pass it this week and pressure the Senate to do the same. The PRO Act puts power back where it belongs, in the hands of workers. Thank you, and I yield back. I ask for unanimous consent.
We should say the PRO Act overrides state right-to-work laws in approximately 27 states, maybe. And what it does is it lets people, it requires people working in a union shop where the union is negotiating on their behalf. It requires that they pay agency fees, and to the union. It would give independent contractors and gig workers the right to unionize.
That's one of the biggest for me.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Because it basically says you can't escape unions and collective action by your labor force by, miscategorizing them, or certainly now with that Prop 22, we're going to see a lot of that. It also has tougher penalties for employers who interfere in the efforts of employees to unionize.
Which we're seeing in Amazon on a mass scale, on an unbelievable scale, changing traffic lights in order to stymie unionization, canvassing outside their facilities, holding meetings that all of their employees have to attend, and basically talking about the risks of joining unions, putting up flyers in their bathroom stalls. I mean, it's constant, so this would curtail some of that.
It also calls for immediate, as soon as a worker files with the National Labor Relations Board that an employer is doing something that is retaliatory towards an employee for attempting to unionize, the National Labor Relations Board would immediately and automatically seek an injunction to keep that employee employed. So the burden of proof changes at that point as to who needs to prove that the company has not retaliated, as opposed to prove that it has.